Alright. Hello, Squid Kids. It is I, Wolfer, your favorite wholesome player, and today I wanted to teach you guys a technique, or more of a mindset, that I have found out over the course of playing this game and other games in the last however long. And lately, kind of after watching Dude play this one, after watching him play this one game or whatever, he did this video where it was, you'll see it, and you can just follow the link to there if you want to watch it. He does this thing where he just walks forward with a squiffer and just starts beating on people in the base. And when I finally saw that, it clicked in my head how good players can be good and show their skill in the game, while at the same time exert like all this pressure but still be safe. Like, the hardest thing in games is to find out how can you be aggressive but safe at the same time. Because you want to be aggressive enough to exert pressure to make them feel like they have to do something about it, but you want to be safe enough that if they do something about it, that you can react or deal with it, just by watching what they do, etc., etc. So, I wanted to take this video to show you guys this trick that will help you gain better results as a player, will help you well into Splatoon 2, or any game that you find yourself playing in the future, be it ARMS or whatever, because it all follows these same concepts, and just the only difference that changes is how you perform that. But these are applied on anything, and it's one of the main reasons why there are fighting game pros that can stay ahead despite it feeling like a rock paper scissors game, because they find ways to make it to where it's not anymore, basically. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so one of the things y'all need to keep in mind is the fact that whenever you're playing a game and you're doing things, you have to give up something, or you're sacrificing something. Here in the beginning, I'm not really sacrificing anything because there's no threat to my area. Here, when I move to this left side, I sacrifice control of the right side. And I do that because I figure I could make something happen over here with my team, maybe help them pick something off, only to find that I ended up getting beat by this guy in the closed. So one of the things you need to know is that you're always sacrificing or giving up something, and when you have control, you need to take advantage if they do something that is obviously out of position. Like here, this guy is out of position. He is stuck in a corner, and so it makes sense that I should punish him. Now, I didn't punish him exactly correct. In hindsight, I should have just shot at him as opposed to burst bomb, or maybe one burst bomb and then shoot at him. I didn't need to do double burst bombs because that gave him enough time to direct me, which is bad. So in general, you're going to want to apply as much pressure as possible without giving up control in certain areas. You want to make them feel like you're controlling certain spots, and make it feel more pressured so that they have to make these decisions that will put them in a bad spot. Here, unfortunately, some of my attempts have not been working out. I've been having a difficult time here. Here I tried to burst bomb to kill that guy real quick. I figured that my team might have hit him a few times, I would have got a kill. It wasn't the case, so instead I died. I did at least get one, but of course that's not going to win you any games. So here I realized this is do or die, so I'm not going to run down there. I might have tried that before, but here I know I have to live, so I can paint the zone. So I get my special and I just do my best to paint the zone, because right now the ultimatum that the enemy is giving me is that if I don't paint the zone, we lose, right? So I covered that because I have no choice. I'm not trying to lose, so I took a chance, and we covered it. And not only did we cover it, we got all the control of the middle area again. So this is our time to take advantage of holding as best as we can. So I paint up everything to make it as difficult as possible for them to push forward. Because the more paint that's on the ground, the more difficult it is for them to push, because they don't know if you're there or not. So I could hide on any of these splotches of blue ink and just wait for them to drop down and kill them. And if they don't respect that, they'll just die, right? Here I'm forced, like, he gives me the thing, he says, if you go forward, I'm going to Zuka you. So I say, okay, I'll just stay back here and continue burst bombing and wait till the Zuka ends. So I'm just kind of looping around here, trying to bait them to come to me. And unfortunately that never really happens. But here I knew one thing, we're getting closer to our win condition, and they're going to have to come to the zone. So I just wait basically right behind that middle block or whatever, and just dive on them as they come towards the zone, because they have to, otherwise they lose. They have to paint the zone, so they're going to be near the zone. So what better than to just be in the area that I have a strong line of sight that I can kill them, you know. So there's going to be there's so many situations that goes through, like here, like I'm going to wait behind this brick to see if they're going to try to come right at me. I see that this guy, I know he has less range than me, so I can just do that. Here I start zuking, I see him cracking, I threw a bomb there. Like, it's real quick, you might not have even seen it, but I threw a bomb at the zone, giving him an ultimatum. I told him, here, if you don't deal with this bomb, it's going to paint the zone. And if you don't, I'm going to win. And that's going to be really bad for you. So he chose to go after me, so my bomb ended up painting the zone and we won. So here we are in a new game. I'm being attacked by a bamboozler. I know not to approach him, because if I do, it's going to be advantageous for him. So he approaches me and gets really close, which is where I want him to be. That's a good kill area for my weapon, and it fits my win condition. So I'm able to just sit here and just chill and then just paint all this for free. And see, now we got all this control, and there's not much the opponents can do about it, because see, now they have that ultimatum again. They're being told, okay, well, you have to approach us. I don't have to go to you. You have to come to me. Here, unfortunately, I did see him at the corner of my eye, but I didn't respect him enough on that corner, because I thought I could kill him. I thought I could turn around and kill him in time, but I couldn't. So because I failed to execute my kill, he was able to kill me first. Here, I know that we have control of the zone, or we will here just now, and I'm going to pressure this guy so that maybe my team might come around and kill him. Unfortunately for me, they didn't come around in time. However, it forced him to go to an area to just die to boo, because I was in a call with him, and I told him they're gonna flank around, so just kill him, and so it was free. So here I just start painting, and now I'm giving them the thing saying, okay, if you guys don't deal with me, I'm gonna paint the zone. I start to attack the beacon there, but oddly enough, this Octoshot, who is actually right in front of my bullets, doesn't take a hit. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but sometimes that happens, and it's best just to not like stress about that stuff, because you want to make sure that your decision making overall is good. Like here, I decided to help my team throw a few burst bombs and head in this area, because I know my team has good control. There was someone there. If that person dies, then we conquer this area. Basically, we gain control of this spot, and now I can start setting up more of these situations where it's not good for the opponent. Like here, I said, okay, if you keep going on the zone or whatever, if you try to approach me, you're just going to get burst bombed to death by my burst bombs, and if you don't, then I'm just going to loop around and burst bomb you anyway. So I'm seeing how people are reacting. Like here, I'm seeing, okay, is he going to shift to the side? He doesn't. Okay, so he tries to use his little bit of ink there to get me, but that's fine. I'll just go back into my ink where I was last secured, and just be fine. Here I knew I could just go back here without even really looking, because I don't see any turf control from the enemy, so I figured this area isn't even controlled right now, so I could just sit here. Whatever. This whole time I'm just trying to control the match and make sure that they can't do what they want to do. I just want to be in areas that prevents them from doing the things that they want to do, which is to capture the zone. And I'm trying to stop any and all angles that they could possibly come from. And that this is what people do when it comes to being good at this game. They force situations and interactions that is always where they're at the advantage. And how they do it is, like I said, they create these ultimatums like, okay, if you don't do this, then I'll do this then. And where it's constantly pressuring, however it's safe. Like here, I threw a burst bomb saying, if you don't move from there, you're going to get burst bombed. And so I predicted, I said, okay, he's probably going to try to get at me, and I'm just going to shoot him, you know? So it's just like, that's how you're going to get good at this game, and you just got to learn that. Alright, you guys, so I wanted to show you a replay of a scenario that you've already pretty much seen. But the first thing you need to know, we're defending the zone, so we obviously have a lot of control. Defending is the best way that I can explain this concept of holding and creating ultimatums for your opponent, because defending is the easiest way to do this. So without further ado, let's get started. So we move forward. You see, I go over here, so I see the enemies there, so I'm gonna start shooting them. So I do just that, and I see immediately he pops a Zuka. So I'm saying, well, I'm not trying to get one-shotted, so I'm out of there. I'm gonna go back to holding my area on the right. I didn't move to the left because my teammates are all over there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head to the right then. Here, at this moment, I see I'm being shot at by a bamboozler. So in this split instant, I make the decision, well, I'm gonna have to clear out that boozler because I'm obviously not gonna go past this point, because if I do, I get Zuka'd. So I have to contest this guy, and he's going to be, in my opinion, he should be at a disadvantage without looking back because I had painted that entire area. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I have to just shoot at him. If he's in position, not trying to peek shot me, I need to kill him as soon as possible. So fortunately for me, when I scoot by this wall here, it's to check for a few things. If he's peek shotting here, I'll be able to deal with him. It also swims away from his shots here, making it it's this quick motion that you can't really react to very easily. And plus it will give me cover behind here. And if they're right here, I'll be able to just jump up, and boozlers will have to back up to have to shoot here. So I'd be at a huge advantage if that was the position. But at this exact moment, I realize he's not here. He's in the open. There's nothing really guarding him here. He's dead center. So I'm just going to shoot him. And so I readjust myself, and I start shooting. I kill him. I know that I can tank a shot if he does hit me, and if he doesn't, then oh well. And as it turns out, I was able to get the kill without even taking damage. So I was like, alright, that's cool. I'll just go back to doing what I was doing. I pop my special because I know, again, there's not so much time left on the clock, and my goal is to just keep this painted and to zone out anybody from coming over here. I know that there's no one else over here, just because you're not going to send just a boot, there would be more ink coverage if there was someone here. It's not so likely that someone would be hiding behind this wall or something. It could be possible, but just my instincts of playing this game tells me that is not the case, because we haven't quite gotten there yet. But after this video, you guys should be all kinds of good. So here we go. I start doing it. I start to bring this burst bomb down to cover this paint here, just because I know that I don't want him to be able to use this ink and get good angles of attack on me. So I wanted to cut that off. So I do just that. I cut it off so now he can't, angle me unless he jumps up and try to hit me. But jumping is usually bad because your accuracy goes real bad, and it puts me at an advantage because I have all this ink. I can just duck over here, shoot him. I can do so many things. I got burst bombs galore, so he'll just run into them. So I'm in a really good position right now, and all I'm gonna do is just try to keep this painted. I see that I decided to be more aggressive. I said F that. The smart decision. Too lame for me. I'm going to be more aggressive and try to attack this guy, because the Zuka guy is no longer there, and even if he was, I am confident that I can win because I have my special up, right? So I say, alright, burst bomb, duck, burst bomb, because I can. I have all this ink to move around in. He doesn't, so I said, okay, I'm going to use my ink. So he's jumping around, he's trying to create ink for himself, and keep in mind, he's still unable to really move, because here I just painted and threw another burst bomb here, and he's stuck in this area. So I throw another one over in this area. I meant to hit right here, but I misshot it a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because he's unable to keep up with where I'm going, because he started to aim towards this direction thinking I was going to keep going in this way, but I turned back this way, so just that mind game was enough to keep me alive here, and I'm just barely holding on. And I know that there's no one going to be behind me. This was all just paint that he made, so, and I saw briefly that there was 3 down, so I was able to just sit here and paint. So I'm just going to clear this out real quick, check and see if anyone wants to try to drop down here, because again, this is like their best way to get back in the fight. Closed is kind of a no-go because it's really easily defended. Middle is very risky, you have to drop down, and then of course, however, it's safe if you have bubbles, it makes for easy bubble pushes. And then of course here on this right drop down, you get a little bit more protection. So I just wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. And if, like I said, if I die here, doesn't matter because the clock's ticking and they have to paint this. So then I saw that no one's coming over here, so I figured they'll probably come through the front. So I'm just gonna go over here and make sure that nothing happens. And of course, this guy who's staggered trying to get in and make something happen, I could just kill him, even if the game didn't end. So I keep this interaction where I'm at the advantage as much as possible. And that's your goal throughout this entire game, is to make sure you have the advantage. I don't know how I can stress this enough, because a lot of people, I feel, will get impatient like I did to just start burst bombing this guy. I got impatient a little bit, but that was because I knew, like, in my heart that I could kill him because I had all this extra running space, and he wouldn't, because in this area you don't have a lot to work with, you just have this box. And I have burst bombs, so I can still hit behind that box, and you would be in a losing battle. So I figured, I'll win that interaction. That comes from experience, but this is how you get that experience, is because by thinking these things through, you'll be able to figure out what's the right decision, and that should be able to help you improve very rapidly if you're feeling like you're stuck. And on top of that, in Splatoon 2, you're no longer going to have these like auto win buttons, like I'm going to press Kraken and I'm gonna jump around a bit, and then you can't main Kraken, you can't main Zuka anymore. You're going to have to actually go at your opponents a little bit, and so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of help here in this way. So hopefully this helps you create your own little flowchart, because that's basically what you're doing. Because my flowchart was basically, alright, if he doesn't do this, then I'm gonna do this. And it just kind of goes on and on forever. It just is this never-ending spiral, and I could just talk about it for hours and hours and hours. But honestly, I don't have the time or really want to do that. I feel like if you understand this concept, you'll be able to jump into any game, and if not get upset or anything, if not just like realize where you're wrong, you'll at least be able to know that, okay, this is what I should be working on to improve, and you won't get like stuck in this idea that your aim has to be frame perfect all the time, because that's just unrealistic. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day. I hope this has been helpful. This is just nuts, the amount of detail, and this is just like a 30-second clip, not even, like I went through 23 seconds, so that just kind of goes to show like how much thought process you have to put into this game, and not just this game, any game that you play. And you got to be able to know, like, okay, this is when they're weak and I need to attack when they're weak, and you have to get the timings, the right timings and stuff like that, because if you don't, you're gonna lose. So or at least give them a better opportunity to fight back. Anyway, that said, have a great day, guys, and hopefully this helps.